actually knew that they were actually grouped like that?
Yay.
Okay, we're finding with reference staff, so I work in the main reading room once every now and then, and I find the same, that people aren't understanding how to actually run their searches, and they're assuming they run a search, they'll get a different set of results, and not quite sure on how those limits actually work. So that's why we're trying to bring it to your attention, and we're going to talk about marketing a bit later on, but I'm thinking what would work for you as reference staff, to have something like that as a laminated item on your computer desks, or a printout or something like that, so you can actually show them a physical thing of, like, if you do this and you do this, you'll get this, instead of like, oh look, I searched for this one and this one, but they're not quite sure how the limit works, so they get a result that they're not expecting and don't want, and either give up at that point or come and ask someone for help, and they may or may not know the answer either. So we thought we'd bring up limits at this time because we're finding that more and more people weren't aware that they're actually grouped like that.
Emma, can I tell you my favourite search?
Oh,
it might be
2 frogs.
I'm Jane Jones. I'm actually a training agent in Western Australia, but just using those limits, a favourite one of mine is for statistics. So whatever your keyword term is, add the word statistics, turn on Australian, online and government, and you'll get links to Australian Bureau of Statistics results. So that's my favourite.
Thanks very much, Jane. That's fantastic.
I'm retrieving that.
Are you taking any more thoughts about changing those limits? Because I still have problems with not having things like CD and DVD in there.
Sure.
Scotia's taking the notes.
Yeah.
Lynn?
I mean, I think it's been mentioned 2 or 3 times in past years, and was told, well, we don't want to increase them anymore, so we might have to drop another out. But now you're changing those item search functionalities in LADD, having this one match those might be a useful thing.
Thanks, Lynn.
Has Lynn had a frog?
Oh, yeah, she's...
Yeah.
Just a suggestion about how to make it clear that there are 2 groups of limits, rather than having laminated cards or user instructions or something like that. Perhaps a little bit of on-screen layouts. There's
Yeah.
differentiation between the 2 groups, maybe a different background color or
Yeah.
as clear heading or something.
Excellent. Thanks very much. We're happy taking the suggestions. I don't know whether we can do them, but they're things to think about.
It's just a question. When you combine the ads, can you change that? Or is that just how it is?
Not with the first group. It's and as always with that first group. They can't be changed. Unless you go into command search and you can sort of work your way around that and put your own limits in your own.
So with group 2?
With group 2, that's OR. So it's all the Boolean searching. So it does get quite confusing from this point. So without confusing everybody, I'll give you a frog and I'll grab you after. Oh, you're doing well. So I'll grab you after the session and we can go through the whole thing, because it does get quite confusing and it'll get quite lengthy, and we'll hold everything up. But thank you. That's a really good. Okay, moving on. Did everyone know we have an application on Facebook?
Yes.
Can't find it. Yes. Couldn't find it. Okay. Okay, we've got the URL here. So it's just another way of providing access to Libraries Australia. As you would know, a lot of your reference users come into the library and may or may not be looking at the catalogue. And well, maybe they are now through Facebook, who knows, but we've made it available there, and everyone gets a frog if they make themselves a fan of Libraries Australia, so remember that, okay?
Is anybody already a fan?
All right, absolutely.
What's your statistics on this so far?
We haven't got the stats offered as yet. It was only launched a short time ago, so we're just sort of waiting up till we probably get some decent stats, and not just Libraries Australia stuff. But more and more people are becoming fans. It's nice. It's the cool thing to do. I'm sure all the young people are doing it. So there's our URL to Libraries Australia. So if you wanted to jot that down if you couldn't find it before, I'll leave it up there, or you can come and talk to us later and we can give it to you. Okay, so is there any questions on Facebook at all? No? Okay, let's launch into... Oh, yes?
As far as I know, people can't search Libraries Australia from their home computer. They have to be a library that's a member. Is that right?
No, you can actually search if we enable something called independent personalisation. So if your library, and we'll go into personalisation a bit later, but free service, anyone in the world can search the free service, as we know. For the subscription service, if your library makes that available off-site, they can search. Only if they make it available, which can be easily done. It's really quite simple. You just need to email the help desk and it'll happen.
Does that cost
No.
more? Oh.
So it's as I said, it doesn't cost
But
any more.
this is to say that somebody who's at home tomorrow in Glebe looking on Facebook won't be able to search Libraries Australia.
They will, the free service.
Yeah.
It'll be the free service. Yeah. Thank you for making that distinction. It'll be the free service. Okay, moving on to our open search targets, which may also be of benefit to your researchers and to the people that turn up to your reading rooms, is that you can now search the Powerhouse Museum, which is aptly we're standing in at the moment, and also the National Film and Sound Archive. So you just go into select databases and choose them from there. It's really quite simple, but you can only search it from the simple search interface. If you try to go in here, it'll give you an error message saying these targets will not be searched via advanced search. Once you do a search in the simple search, the results are displayed the same as you would expect them, but when you click on a result, it actually takes you to either the Powerhouse or the Film and Sound Archives website, and you'll get the object or whatever the information is, and it'll come up there.
Has anybody done that?
Anyone use apart from Warwick, anyone use the open search target before? Lynn? Lynn's getting quite a pile. Excellent. So just to keep that in mind, it's a really good feature that we have there, and it's really quite useful for the people that come into your reference desk. Okay, I'll hand back over to Mary-Louise.
Okay, what's next? Okay. A new release in February of Libraries Australia Search saw the major improvement of correct Australian Libraries holdings showing when searching WorldCat. Holdings show with OCLC symbols, not NUC symbols. Okay, but at least the information is correct. Okay, also in this upgrade we got the wonderful permalinks. Permalinks are a new persistent URL service for creating links to bibliographic records in the ANBD using the ANBD number. They're a convenient way to cite items from the library's collection in your bibliographies, reference guides, emails, blogs, databases, web pages, etc. And they're permanent, as they imply, I think, by that name. So there's the link there, the red circle around it. So if you click on that, it takes you to the record in Libraries Australia free search. And you can see the URL looks like this. Instead of the long version, you can see at the bottom of the screen. The long version would generally have resulted in an error if you were trying to search on it. So you can see that the introduction of permalinks is a great improvement.
And as Ask Now operators, and as some of you may also be, when you've got someone online and you're chatting to them and you're giving them information, there's nothing worse than finding what you want to give them in Libraries Australia and they've never heard of it before and unable to provide them with we can give them the URL to Libraries Australia, but nothing worse than giving them a link that's not going to work, and they, as you know, they want it and they want it now. They don't want to have to redo the search again. So with the permalinks, you can just shoot that through to them, and they can open it up in their own browser, and they've got the record that you have discovered for them.
Anyone used those? Noticed them? Been happy about them? Anyone like a chocolate frog?